Enlighten? Five. Telling the old story of credit enterprises, a look at the new changes in China's business world. Hello, everyone, welcome to this program. In the context of globalization and e-commerce, on the wave of boom, cross-border logistics, supply chain industry, starting to play an increasingly important role, becoming a modern economic development. Areas of critical importance: optimizing logistics, supply chain management. Not only does it dramatically speed up deliveries, enhancing freight efficiency, precise cost control, deeper inter-enterprise collaboration, achieving win-win development, energizing a modern economy. Today's guest is cross-border logistics, supply chain industry, senior practitioner. He is interested in the industries. What are the insights? Let's go through the clip. Chen Hanhong, Menqiatong Supply Chain Management Company, who for cross-border e-commerce Chinese brands Chen Hanhong, providing convenience and quality services Chen Hanhong, 1 or Ace on Dice or Domino's Spirit Xiamen Express Supply Chain Management Company, T, General Manager God, Vigor, Apollo, Name, Ajinomoto, specialized in cross-border e-commerce export logistics, committed to the cross-border e-commerce Chinese brands to go to see. Corporate vision: provide convenience and quality service. Joining us in the studio today is Xiamen Express Supply Chain Management Company, Mr. Chen Hanhong, General Manager. There are a lot of companies that do international freight forwarding. What are your strengths? We are a localized business. I'm in Fujian, for example, Xiamen, Quanzhou, Xinjiang, Putian Fuzhou, where sellers are more concentrated. I've set up my own branch, and then I have pickups for these drivers. I have sales people. So this localized service, it's all about getting closer to the customer. Make this service experience better for them. Stiff is if you have drivers and fleet of vehicles in GE. That means you're asset heavy, they're asset light. E-commerce logistics it to the final competition. It's all about service, except for the first kilometer of competition, because transportation on the main line, maybe we're all the same. That's on the first kilometer. Can you give customers, providing better service? That's why, in this case, we're willing to spend the money, going out of your way to build. Customer experience enhances his experience. E-commerce logistics it has the bigger problem is to say, between the seller and our logistics provider, information asymmetry. If it's traditional freight, it's just that my client had an inquiry, then I organize this transport scenario, to guest ABC. Let's say that the customer chooses for himself, do I want A or B? But for us logistics providers, for cross-border e-commerce logistics, I just gave him a price, give him a statute of limitations. How did I get there? Kerber doesn't know. We're all part of A. It's called a form of consolidation. Sino. That means your shipment. It's a collection of other people's goods, and ship it out. So in the process, 10. Sino. What type of transportation to choose? It's up to us. There's such a free-for-all. Sino. Why is this brand more important? For example, the brand of express stagecoach. Why is it acceptable for others to say? 7. He'll think to say, it's more stable. It's more reliable. That means after all these years, junior high school, Taiwan, China our company. China just no major accidents. Even if there was an accident, then we'll be able to fix that too. China in the field of international freight forwarding. I don't care about the client you're serving. Is he overstocked or understocked? Cheap or expensive? Your minds have to follow others. We can stand together. Think about how important this is. If I were a smaller Amazon sellers, maybe what I'm asking you to do, it's not much. You won't make much money from me. But with a big seller, you got it from me. Maybe there's more money to be made. Just the two of us. Do you treat them differently? Will not act happen, etc. That's why I wanted to ask you. It's your ability to put yourselves in your shoes. Put yourself in the seller's shoes, no matter how big or small it is. How important is this mindset, guided by this need of the customer? Actually, our company is. Follow these small and medium-sized sellers together, because in 2016, it's the Fujian market that just happens to be when Amazon exploded. Then we were also at that time entering this market. Then, that is, a lot of sellers. They are also a sort of small seller. It turns out it might as well have been, like a couple of people. They're even students at the school. Then a few of my classmates joined forces. Until now, it could have been hundreds of millions. This scale of sales, well, you're on your own, you're in the middle of them growing up. What role has been played? We've been trying to, that is, to be able to, for example, give the customer. What kind of a service? We started at the very beginning. Let's say this guest, what services does he want? I'll go to the market, find this product to match it. China. Later on we find out that say, it seems like some products don't fit. China, for example, the statute of limitations is not stable enough. We only sell, or rather only push factory products that we are sure of ourselves. That is, from the first step, I sell what the customers want. Go to step 2, I sell what I have. This is the second stage. China to this point in time, in fact, the supply chain, it is the already stabilized. China is the cross-border e-commerce logistics. China. This product is very homogenized, and in the process, then a problem occurs. What's the problem? It's the information asymmetry I was talking about. Might want to discourage customers. His distrust of our logisticians. So what's this for sale? Third step. We sell our corporate culture. Prudent and prudent, steady and far-reaching. This corporate culture, that means we're willing to do that. Someone a little dumber, don't do that. Speculation. Then get down to business, behave honestly. It is then that the business can go a little farther. In a high-end business environment, quality service is not only the basis for meeting customer needs. Oh, mind, Miko. Mechanism. The fair and open-minded enterprise culture makes us become the industry buyer. Development. Honey brand is gradually recognized and accepted by customers. Macro international fast ring pass people are for the 8 countries. The development of the Earth's e-commerce enterprises to build vegetables, beam wind and waves will be deep plowing her Cunnion, based in China, looking at the world, but also the enterprise's unique charm of the show. Warmly embrace the bright future. Collection fleet and standardized operation team to serve local customers. It not only enhances customer stickiness, enhance customer satisfaction, it can also effectively shape the high-end image of the enterprise. Cross Happy Heart Main Business International Business Logistics, DDAP, building a solid reputation. Main Business International Air Carrier Logistics, DDAP, Airline Hazardous. AHC Express Stagecoach under the leadership of Chen Hanhong. AHC pinpointing market needs. Integrity as a cornerstone, creating differentiated advantages. Meanwhile, with the high-quality service of Express Stagecoach, building important support for brand building. 87, 8, 55B3Y5U000001 entry barcode 2 let the enterprise in the fierce. Globe K let the enterprise in the fierce. Sell 13,559,488,797 let the enterprise in the fierce. Sales 13,559,488,797 stand out from the competition in the market. Well, other than this one, companies are branding themselves, and what efforts have been made. Stay tuned for this episode. Neutral Force M, escorting cross-border e-commerce. If you are able to keep this awkward, what it brings to your business, because other people aren't so clumsy, then someone else may be relying on this information asymmetry. He's making a lot of money on the difference, right? By the time you come to your senses, I've made my money. But if you want to compare yourself to others, are you an advantage or a disadvantage? In the short term, we definitely don't have the advantage. If we're here to do business, I think this is worth it. Well, like right now, for example, there are actually a lot of businesses that quit, because they're probably just trying to make money, not trying to be a business. For us, our business is growing. Then why are you growing? Our brand effect. It's also the brand name of the Express Stagecoach. Brands are priceless to us, because we're trying to be corporate. So that's why we've been going. Keeping our beginnings. There's just something about it. It's a definite no-no. If you're going to build such a brand, this brand is, in the minds of our customers, it's very reliable, then you can't make it. There's not a trace of dirt on the station. It's just that I've got it right at the source. Keep that risk in check. We've just been talking about China. Some do and some don't. China practicing long-termism. China, and want to make the business bigger. China, what about your ideal? China, what your business is going to be? I want to make one, that is, small and beautiful businesses. 10. And then for example, we specialize in a particular regional market center. 10. Or specialize in a niche, and then we can be extreme. China. Let's take an example of our express. I'd like to be in the Fujian area of Labuan, China. I want to be. 10. We are cross-border e-commerce logistics. China first brand. Well, let's say it's a little farther. Let's say we want to be China's cross-border e-commerce logistics. Such a better brand. For private companies like ours, the main thing is, we may have to be crisis aware. And then if it's going to stick long-termism, it's all about innovation. And it's all about integrity and innovation. I think this is important. Actually, the economy is growing, like the waves of the sea. Of a tide, ebb and flow. Well, for our business, to go with the flow, if we can catch this wind, that could be our business. It means being able to go a step further, including, for example, such as the current. It's being promoted by the state. This cross-border e-commerce. There are also such overseas warehouses for cross-border e-commerce. I'm sure in the near future, like last-mile delivery, it's also possible that the figure of Chinese companies. These are all possibilities. The other one is that, why our country, it's so important now. Development of cross-border e-commerce, because our e-commerce products, it's direct to the consumer. Cross-border e-commerce is our go-to breakthrough. This is called a trade barrier, a good weapon.